Hi everyone. Today in this video we are going to see how we can create AWS Lambda function using Java language. And this is what all things we are going to cover in this video. Like first we will create our small Java program on our local wherein we can add our AWS Lambda dependency inside a POM file and we can write one handle request method which is needed to run the AWS Lambda using the Java. So first we can create this small Java program with all these necessary dependencies, and next we can build our Java program to prepare a jar out of it. Once that is done, we can go to AWS side and create one AWS Lambda function, and we can upload our jar to this Lambda function. Next we can create one S3 bucket which is the event source, which will originate the event what all files we are going to upload to this. Now how it will work, like we can upload the file to the S3 bucket and it will trigger an upload event and send it to the AWS Lambda function wherein our Java code will get executed. So this is how the whole process will work, and we are going to see this end to end. So before we go ahead and create all these things, please do not forget to like, subscribe and share. Now let us first create our simple Java program on our local. For that we can use Spring Tool Suite as an ID. You can use your ID which you are using, and here we need to create a workspace for our project. So let me create one new folder with name like it's an Lambda with Java. So this is the folder which will act as an workspace, and we can simply click on launch button. Now to create a simple Java project, we can simply click on the second option which is create a Maven project, and here we can select this create a sample project and we can click on next button, and here we can give some details like group ID com.example, and here we can add the artifact ID which is we can give something Lambda with Java, and here so this much is enough. We can simply click on finish button. Now we have successfully created our project. So here it is pointing to JSC 1.8. We can change it by right clicking and setting the build path. So for this we can use the configure build path, and we can go to the libraries. We can remove this library and add the new one. And here we can choose the installed one and finish. Now it is pointing to the JDK 17, which is good. Now this is fine. So we are pointing to some latest version, or which is the stable version. Now next thing we need to add in this POM file, we need to add our AWS dependency for Lambda function. So for that, let me open our AWS dependency. So this is the dependency we need to copy and add it here, which is needed. So we have successfully added this dependency. Now we can save it, and just to remove this error, we can add HTTPS at the place of HTTP, and we can save it. Seems good. Now we have added this dependency. Next thing, we can create one package with name like com.lambda example, or we can say com.example. Now here we can create our one class with name, like we can give some name AWS Lambda with Java. So this is the class name we can give. Seems good. Now inside this we can add our Lambda function. Like let me copy this code which I have prepared for you. Make sure the file name should be the same as the class name. Fine. Now what I have done, we have done it here, like this is the package which we have created, and these are some import dependencies for Lambda we need to add to, and these are some import for array list and map, and this is our actual class which will implement handle request, because our AWS Lambda function will search for this handle request, and this is the method it will execute. So in a similar in a regular Java program, we used to write our public static void main, and it will start looking for the main method, but this is not the case in terms in the context of AWS Lambda, because it will start looking for this method, and first we need to add this dependency which is related to the Lambda. Now we have our class ready, which is taking like event and the context as a argument, and here we are simply taking the events, and we are trying the first key at here, and this is the message we want to print in log file, and we are going to check it. Okay. Now this is our first program we have written. Now let us build it and check. Now inside target there is no jar file, so let us build it using Java run as maven install, so that it will create a jar file. Now it has successfully created a jar for us. Now to run this locally, we need to add various combination. We need to add more code so that we can simply run it on the locally. But right now we are not going to run. We have prepared a jar file, so that jar file we are going to upload to the AWS Lambda function side, and we can test this using our end-to-end functionality. Now let us go back to our AWS Lambda function wherein we are going to create that. Here first you need to log into AWS console, and once you are logged in, you will see this console home page. Now here inside search you can search for Lambda AWS service, and this is the Lambda function we can click on, and here we can click on this create function, and we can, here is the all the options are there to create a function. So here we can choose the particular option. This is just to start with a simple hello world example. This is using a blueprint, and this is the container image. If you have already an existing container image, you can go for this option. Now here we can go with the default option, which is a author from scratch. Next, here we need to give our function name for our Lambda. So we can give some function name. This is like Lambda with Java, and here we can select the runtime. So we can select Java 17, or you can choose the Java 21, whatever version you want, and finally we can create a function. Now it is creating a AWS Lambda function for the Java language. Seems good, it has created one Lambda function for us. Now let us create one S3 bucket, which is then event source, which will originate the event. So we can simply duplicate this URL, and here we can search for our S3 bucket, which is another AWS service. We can use this to store object or file. Now here we can simply click on this create bucket, and here this is the region which we have selected, and this is the bucket type. We can go for general purpose or the directory based on our requirement. Right now we can select the general purpose as a default one, and here we need to provide the bucket name. So let us give some bucket name like Lambda with Java. So we can give So we can say bucket for bucket for Lambda with Java. So this is the bucket name. You can give any bucket name. If you have existing bucket, you can select this choose bucket and point to the existing bucket. Now here we have object ownership. So you can go for ACL disabled, which is recommended because all objects in this bucket are owned by this account, and access to this bucket and its objects are specific using only policies. So this is the recommended option. We can we should go with, and this is the ACL enabled, and this is the option when we can choose this. It has defined objects in this bucket can be owned by other AWS accounts. So right now we want to go with the recommended option by the account which we have owned. Next we can go with the block public access setting in for this bucket. So we need to uncheck this option because we want to access our bucket publicly. Next we can acknowledge this, we can check this option to acknowledge this. This is for turning off all the public access might result in bucket and object within becoming public. So this option you need to check, and finally rest of the things we can keep as is. And here is the right side bottom, we can see this is the create bucket option. We can click on to create our bucket. So we have successfully created our bucket. So we can select it and see what is there. There is no content or object or file inside this bucket. Now we are done with our Lambda function creation used for the Java, and next we have created our bucket successfully. Now we need to create a trigger inside our Lambda function so that our S3 bucket and the Lambda function will communicate. There will be a communication will be established in between these two. So for that we can simply click on this add trigger, and here we need to select the source, which is S3 bucket in our case. Next here we need to point to the bucket which we have just created, and here we can give the event type. So event type can be anything, upload file, folder, or this is like object creation event, and this is the object deletion event. So if you want to trigger an event for delete object, we can select this, but for now we can select object create events. We can choose this. Next we need to check this option which is for recursive invocations. So here basically for the S3 bucket, for both the input and output events, if we use the single S3 bucket, there are the chances that it may go into the infinite loop. So just to avoid that, we need to check this option. Now we can simply click on add button to create to add a trigger to our Lambda function. So we have successfully added a trigger. Now, so this is the code. So here it is giving us an option to upload our code. So we can go and upload the code. So this is the zip or jar file we can point to. So just upload from our local. So let us go to our project where we have created. This is the project, and inside AWS this is the Lambda Java. We should go to the target folder wherein our jar is there. Seems good. Now we have pointed to our jar, and we can simply click on save button. Now it has successfully updated our jar file. Seems good. Now let me refresh it. Fine. Now here we need to cross check it once. After successfully uploading our jar file, we need to check, like here this should be the proper one. For example, our package is com.example. We need to use as is. So this is the example. So we need to edit it. So first one is a package. We can say com.example. Next is the class, what class we are using. So this is the class. We need to copy and edit it here, and this is the handle request. So same method name should be there. Seems good. Now we have everything in place. Now we need to save it. Now we are done with our handle edit runtime setting as well. Now everything is in place. Now let us check by uploading some file so that our AWS Lambda should get triggered with the event. It should run the AWS Lambda code. Now let us upload some file. Once we click on upload, it will take us to this new page. We can click on add file. Now let us go to our where we have that file. We need to locate to that folder and we can upload something. Now the file is there, but it is not still uploaded, so we need to select the file and click on upload button. Seems good, it has successfully uploaded. Now you can see the file is uploaded successfully. Now let us go to the monitor section and check how it is working. Like we need to check the log whether it has triggered an event or not. Seems good, it has generated one log. And you can check the traces, like this is the metrics for CloudWatch, and it will show this is the one invocation and it is showing all these metrics. And here also it will generate the log, but sometimes it is taking the time to show the log set here, but it will show inside this CloudWatch. So how you can open the CloudWatch? You need to go to the monitor, and here if you click on this one, it will open a new window, new tab for the CloudWatch, and here you can see the logs. This is the latest log. If you have number of logs, you can take the which is at the upper side, that is the latest one. And now here you can check, this is the message, welcome to Lambda function with Java, and first case records. So this is what it is showing, the message which we have written in our program. It is showing welcome to AWS Lambda function with Java. That means our Java function, AWS Lambda function, which we have written using Java, is getting called successfully, and we have tested it end to end with our code. So with this we have successfully completed our creation of AWS Lambda using Java. So in our next video, we will see how we can create different Lambda functions using different languages, and how those will get called using different triggers and events, and the code inside that will get executed. I hope you must have enjoyed this. Please do not forget to like, subscribe and share. Thank you so much for watching this.